Well, we all know by now that part of being healthy is eating healthy, but that doesn't mean the food isn't delicious. We're striving towards a healthy 2023 with help from the Sussex County Health Coalition.
And we have Executive Chef Sean Correa from the Lewis Oyster House here with us in the DelmarvaLife kitchen.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. What are we making today?
Well, we are making a grilled, well, today it's pan-seared because we're in the studio, but we're doing a grilled salmon or a pan-seared salmon with spring vegetable ragu and a little bit of a shaved asparagus salad on top. Ooh. Again, this can also be substituted with a leaner protein such as chicken. Also want to thank Sussex County Health Coalition for inviting me to be on here and do this today.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad you're here. Well, why don't you get us started on making this dish, and we'll talk a little bit about the coalition.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to season the salmon. I have two jobs for both of you.
Oh boy.
Okay. We're going to, chiffonade or make matchsticks.
Okay,
out
matchsticks.
of the,
I don't know what that other word was.
I was trying to find it for you. Matchsticks out of the radish.
Okay.
I'm going to have you shave about 3 pieces of the peeled asparagus and put it into the bowl.
Okay.
The radish and the asparagus is going to make our salad for on top of the salmon.
Now, admittedly, I've never shaved or peeled asparagus before. I always just cook it up as is. Is there something special about why we do this?
Well, so we were just talking a little bit ago about the food. So actually, the humans are supposed to eat about 50 to 51% of their fruits and vegetables raw. So I just want to try and incorporate some raw ingredients in this dish. It's got a nice texture, full of great vitamins. So we're going to make a little salad. So instead of cooking all the nutrients out of it, we're going to highlight these raw ingredients.
I see.
The radish will add a little bit of pepper, the asparagus, a nice green spring flavor, a nice pop with the lemon on top of the salmon. So, we're just introducing flavor in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, I really thought that this was going to be a little bit more difficult to peel than it is. This is actually very easy. This is almost like peeling squash.
And you'll see I took the tips off of that asparagus because we're going to use the tips, which is everybody's favorite part of the asparagus in the ragu.
Okay, ragu. Now I always think of spaghetti sauce. Yeah. What is? I mean, is that just a fancy word for cut up vegetables?
It can be. Usually, it's finished with a stock or brought down with a stock.
Okay.
This is a roasted vegetable stock I made today. So we roast our vegetable scraps at the restaurant, onions, garlic, all the peelings from the carrots. We roast them and then make a stock out of them to add flavor to our dishes with, again, out using veal stock or demi-glace. It's just a healthy option and, instead of water or wine all the time.
Sure.
Now, looking at what you've got presented over there already, am I just peeling this all the way down, and that's what we're?
Yep.
Okay.
Just
all right. So
as
we're not
much
just
as you
you're
can.
just not peeling like a carrot.
Oh
So,
yeah, you want to use as much of it as you
all
can.
right. Very good. Okay.
Now, the Healthy Sussex campaign. Can you talk a little bit about the need for something like this in Sussex County, Lower Delaware?
Well, right now obesity and heart disease is a big problem all across the world. I think obesity is 31.4% in Delaware. Sussex County, we're at 33.5%. It's higher than the state average.
Sure.
Heart disease being one of the number one killers or epidemics here in America. So as a chef, trying to do our part, cooking, and Sussex County Health Coalition doing their part to help people realize, hey, there's ways to make food flavorful while eating healthy, sourcing local vegetables. You can impart flavor. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have butter or dairy to make it taste good. You can use fresh herbs, fresh local produce. One thing here about some henlope and sea salt. This is actually made right there in Lewis. And it really is like, it takes me back to getting crushed by a wave as a little kid.
Yeah?
But it's local salt. It's local salt. It's done the right way. It's not mass produced. We know what's in it.
Yeah. And you had mentioned that you use grape seed oil as opposed to like an olive oil, and that's better?
It is. It's a lower fat content. Now, olive oil isn't horrible for you in moderation, just like anything. But grape seed oil has a very low fat content and a good smoke point, so it can heat really high temperatures to get a nice brown, mired reaction on the protein or vegetables. So grapeseed is a great cooking oil for someone that's health conscious, doesn't want that fatty oil.
Sure.
And it's got a great smoke point, great for cooking with.
Right. And speaking of smoke, we've got some going here with our
yeah.
salmon.
That is getting it
This is a
seared
grill.
right there.
So we got it seared. Now we're actually just going to turn this guy down, and we're going to take the salmon out of the pan, and we're going to add our vegetables in the pan, which today I brought some fava beans, some mushrooms from Kennett Square, some English peas, of course the asparagus, the tips from the asparagus, and some char roasted carrots.
Oh.
So we're going to sear this. If you're outside your grill, you could grill mark this outside, or if you were meal prepping, you could grill a couple pieces of salmon ahead of time and then pull them off. Grilling is another great way to impart flavor without adding too much fat or anything like that.
Right.
So we're going to do 2 of these. So we got some mushrooms. Now, I love to saute mushrooms. These are shiitake mushrooms and maitake mushrooms. And to add a little bit of flavor with, again, not adding a bunch of other stuff, we deglaze with a little bit of sherry vinegar at the end, fresh herbs, thyme, shallots, garlic. These are grilled carrots that I've pre-grilled with our grilled salmon.
Sure, yeah.
Some local fava beans.
And I love the fact that you've got all the colors in here.
Yeah.
A lot of folks will do a healthy meal and it's all one color, and I'm like, that's boring.
Yeah.
Let's get some let's get some of those oranges and reds in there. It's really turning out nice.
It's part of when you're eating something, and it starts. The first thing you eat with your eyes. The second thing you actually eat with your nose. So if it looks beautiful and it smells beautiful, or smells delicious, then it probably tastes delicious. Now, I've seen some pretty ugly food that actually still tastes delicious as well.
Good, yeah. It happens.
But we always try and think of those things when we're creating a dish. Color, contrast, textures. I love salty, sweet, crispy,
All right.
creamy.
So, Sean, I tell you what, we're going to let this cook up a little bit, let it ragu, if you will, and then we'll come back finishing up our dish with Chef Sean Correa. Stick around.
Colorful fragrance and fresh ingredients are coming together in the DelmarvaLife kitchen this afternoon. We are back with Executive Chef Sean Correa, who is showing off a delicious and healthy recipe. Now, this is the whole reason that I'm here today, is to try this. How close are we, Sean?
We're about 2 minutes out, so our vegetables are nice and roasted. We're going to add our salmon back here to our pan of spring ragu. And then we have some nicely peeled asparagus.
Thank you very much.
Which I'm going to put a little lemon zest on.
A little lemon zest, and then I'll top with a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
And then you'll put the radishes in there.
There we go.
Oh, you're getting it.
I never know how much lemon zest. Is it an eyeball thing for you?
Yeah,
Right. What do you
I think that's good, yeah.
That's good?
Just
Okay.
a little bit of lemon.
Very
A little bit of
zesty.
lemon there. Ooh, very zesty lemon indeed.
So while the salmon is finishing up, I'm going to go ahead and start plating the vegetables. If you want to wrap or toss the radishes in the salad,
Okay.
you
My
can give that a good mix.
radish, I guess, matchsticks.
And we got some hemlope and sea salt right here I'm going to throw in there as well.
Yeah. It's beautiful how it all comes together. You did a really good job on this asparagus.
Well, thank you very much.
Jason.
It does look very nice, doesn't it?
That's a really neat way to eat asparagus.
And it's very tasty that way.
Yeah.
I had never even thought about doing something like that
Right?
before, and now I'm thinking, where have I been my whole life? And now I know where I'm going, because I don't think I'll have asparagus another way.
Yeah.
So our salmon is about nice medium rare right here. We're going to put that on the plate. And one thing with healthy eating, one thing we do too much of is over portion.
Yeah.
Huge portions at restaurants. So we have a nice 6-ounce piece of salmon. We get our vegetables, our raw vegetables, which is going to give us a lot of vitamin and nutrients. And then since you don't see a starch on the plate, we actually have some starchy vegetables such as peas and fava beans.
Put that on there?
Yep.
I'm trying to make it pretty like the one you have done there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
There you
So
go.
his asparagus actually looks better than mine.
Ooh.
All right.
A little bit of lemon juice, again, another way to add more flavor.
Yeah.
And they're good for you.
And this was relatively easy to put together. I mean, really.
Yeah, so we have a nice little sauce here too, so I'm going to set this one aside. We have a nice little pan sauce. After you do it with the roasted vegetable stock, it adds a nice little glaze on the bottom because of the protein from the salmon, the starchy vegetables, and we didn't even use butter.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Jason. I'm going to, since you did such a good job on the
well,
asparagus,
thank
I'm
you.
going to give you first taste.
Thank you very much.
This is our favorite part of the kitchen. I mean, it's wonderful cooking, but the tasting.
part.
This is the fun part.
I never get to cook for just 2 people. I always have to cook for the masses, so it's nice just cooking for 2 people.
I can tell by the look on his face that it tastes very, very good.
Did you taste your salad?
I guess that's your second
My
bite.
goodness. That is so good. Oh, that is so good.
So again, we use a tiny bit of grapeseed oil, and the rest is just the vegetables releasing their flavors into the pan. Fresh herbs, nice portion of fresh salmon. And again, you can do this at home with chicken. Any other lean proteins like a white fish. And again, grilling is a great way to add flavor, different types of flavor foods. Like we did the carrots, we roasted those over the open fire.
Okay.
And
is this something we can get?
This is our spring salmon dish at the restaurant.
All right.
Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for helping out the Healthy Sussex Coalition, because that's a wonderful effort. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you.